Hey, Niktana here, back with the second part of the interview with Veotrits.
Oh boy, here we go.
So, in this interview, we're okay. So, in the first interview, we learned about the creator. Now, in this interview, we are going to learn about the creation. So, we're going to deep dive into the haunted log cabin where Vo hails from, and his creations, and some personal stories that he wants to share with us. If he'd be, well, I mean, if he wants to share with us. Oh my god, I can't speak. So, without further ado, let us start with the questions. Alright, so I stopped you a little bit to save this part of it, but you said that you gave your D&D, are they called players or heroes, or what is the term for that? You gave them
Players.
nightmares
I go with
or
players.
anxiety.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was a fun day. We actually had to take a break because of it. So the the let me give you a quick taste of the world they are a part of. Um the continent's name is Falinar. It's basically very destructive because something went wrong and the entire continent's covered by a miasma. The miasma could warp one's personality, body, and it could flat out kill you, or turn you into a monster, or worse, whatever that may look like. I ended up portraying that quite clearly. So, fast um and the only way they could repel it is if they had a sacred flame, which is holy oil just burning while they're on their caravan trying to explore and figure out what happened. So, there is a devil that the cleric struck a deal with. The devil's name is Malachus, and there he's part of a group of individuals, not necessarily evil, but common cause. He may be evil, but he ain't stupid, and this group of individuals he's a part of basically don't want to see the world get destroyed. So, the cleric ended up striking a deal that was a blank check between the both of them. If one asks the other, then the other or one will ask something in return. So it's a working contract. This was to get invisible, actually not invisibility, but rings that will ward off scrying because two of the party members have horrific things trying to find them. They go to um, the Tower of Stobin, also known as the Ivory Tower. Stobin's Tower is tall, and it is a very interdimensional thing. You travel through mirrors and go to different parts of the tower, and a lot of them are just warped. Um, they have fought off many a horrific being and stuff, and I'm talking when I told my players about how I run this, you pick your own fights, and you have to be careful because they can and will kill you if you're not careful. And if it is something overpowered, you got to sneak past that or work your way around it. Or if you do fight it, be absolutely careful. All my players know this. There is another section, a horrific series of entities known as the Dark Children. They all have a name and a title, like Melissa Slaydall, the murderer of families, Joe Dead, the walking graveyard, stuff like this. And the most dangerous one that I have foreshadowed for a long time was Joe Dead. Out of everyone,
I'm staying silent because I'm already
the
laughing.
only yeah, I know, right? Out of everyone, the cleric knew what Joe Dead looked like. The rules of summoning these things are knowing their name, knowing what they look like, and their title. If you say their name, not necessarily their title, if you say their name, you practically r- rang the dinner bell. They are going to come and visit. Not all of them are unreasonable, and they're not mindless, and that's what makes them dangerous. They are intelligent. And they will talk and they will manipulate or they'll strike deals and or they will flat out just cause chaos and damage depending on who you're dealing with. Some actually don't like being dark children, but are forced to. Um so in this case in Stobin's tower there was a conundrum. They ended up finding what they need to help Malachus, and they ended up splitting the party. Um, they got to the top. The cleric and the wizard Cecil, who's a child, um, a poor traumatized child, and it only got worse throughout the entire campaign. Um, basically ended up um, going through a mirror that took them to the bottom of the tower. So, what was going on is they found a trapped chest in the top of the tower. And there was no rogue in this party at all. Now, the reason for this is I told them not to tell each other what they're playing as. Reason for this is I want them to play what they want to play, not to necessarily balance everything. It's a lot more fun that way, in my opinion. So they're trying to figure out how to disable this, and my agent of chaos being Jack Jokers, agent of chaos is kind of a tool in my case. It's a player that does something to help push the story along or just causes a bit of a ruckus that could lead into a bigger ruckus. He was getting annoyed and he was going like, okay, I'm going to hit it the chest with an eldritch blast, warning everyone else first. No one stopped him. so he got so he decided, let's hit it with an eldritch blast. Destroys the chest, destroys the room, almost kills him right out, and destroys their only way down to the tower. So the party's now effectively split. Oh boy. So, one of the Dark Children was walking past, specifically Joe Dead. I basically set it up so there's only a 50% chance that he would even go to the tower. And it was kind of like one of those, I want to put a little bit of tension so they make up their minds fast. They weren't making up their minds fast enough. Matter of fact, it turned into something even more hilarious. Um, basically, the ward on the bottom of the tower that Malachus was holding up was starting to fizzle. Which,
Fizzle.
he's a yep.
Sorry, thinking of the
he's a
game.
demon. Actually, no. He's a devil. Oh, you're thinking of going under. Yeah.
There's a game called Going
Um
Under. Fizzle just I was like context because
the magic circle protecting this tower from horrible things starts to burn away. And this makes Malachus extremely worried because he's a devil. He's a powerful devil. And he is going, oh no, there's something stronger than me out there, and it is destroying my protective wards. So, and so the cleric, not being the brightest tool in the shed, goes, I'm going to make sure of something. I got to make sure of something. Goes up to the door and says, is that you, Joe Dead? As everyone on a table flips their shit. And I am laughing because Joe Dead is considered the most innocent of the Dark Children, but also very cannibalistic. So all he hears behind the door is, do you want to be my friend? Which is a calling card of Joe Dead. That is the most terrifying thing you could hear because you can't say yes, you can't say no, you just run. That's kind of the idea. And so everyone, so they pull out their communication mirrors like the one you are having me talk to you on. Yeah,
Which is
another
hilarious
drink
because
of
I've
my
never played
tea.
Dungeons and Dragons, and I was just thinking I thought, oh, mirror is a good way to do this, and I didn't realize a lot of what I like to create has already been done in Dungeons and Dragons at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. Any sort of fantasy thing, it's like some it has happened somewhere at some point. Um so in a nutshell, they were all panicking, all of them. And then here's our cleric going, "Wait, wait. Oh, I fucked up. Oh, I really fucked up." And everyone's like, "No shit." So I was also having a stressful day, so I got kind of baked doing this. Here's the thing that everyone notices. I'm a little bit meaner as a GM when I am. And I honestly never knew this until it was pointed out. So in their mirrors, they were back and forth trying to figure out, okay, how do we get down and run from this situation? Jump over his side, Cecil cast Featherfall, run back down, wait, there we could only go through dimensional mirrors. There's no direct route. And some of those mirrors could easily kill us. They ran into a dream demon that nearly destroyed them. They ended up running away from it pretty effectively. Um, and then there's other means and methods. Um, but what ended up happening, and they were arguing for a good solid 15, 20 minutes, and I am not bored of it. That's when you know it's hilarious and it's good. Is when they argue so much and you're just having the biggest chuckle and everyone's so in character that it's unbelievable. So our monk, our dwarven monk, did an oops. He said okay, but why did you call Joe here? And then I told him, okay, roll some dice. There was mass quiet, and then the player playing the dwarven monk goes, you weren't supposed to hear that. You were not. Nope. Uh-uh. And so he rolled, and then Joe basically said, "Oh, there's something interesting up the tower," and started walking up the side of the tower. The bottom was safe now. The top wasn't. So they just hear do you want to be my friend? In a cute, childish candor as they see this pale as all hell child with a seemingly innocent and smile and a sense of darkness behind him. The monk grabbed everyone, said, "Okay, we're going with plan B," jumps over the side of the Stobin's tower. This is when they started having a heart attack because they screwed up. And, well, the cleric screwed up. Everyone, in some sense, screwed up. And they were all paying for it in kind. Um, I told them for how fast they're falling, I'm going to make feather fall not an instant you get it. You have to roll an attack roll, and you have to beat the DC of at least 15. So, 15 and above, you're safe. Nat 20. Okay, awesome. You're all safe. Oh god, everyone was pissing themselves because if that roll did not make it, half the party's dead.
Yep.
And resurrections are not cheap in any respect. So, and I do run the fact that permadeath is a thing. You can get resurrected, but again, it's like good luck trying to get the money to do that. And if they try get Malachus to do that, then he could ask for a huge favor in kind, and it would not be pretty. Though Malachus likes this group enough that he would not want them dead, but again, offers are offers. So, where did this go? They ended up getting away from Stobin's tower as they see Joe Dead just Jason Voorhees walking towards them, which you know that kind of walk. It's like it's slow, but for some reason keeping pace with you. And and the two that looked behind just sees a giant wall of ghosts that are all anchored to Joe and went, no way in hell we could fight that, maybe ever. Which is kind of the feeling that I wanted to give. So, want to talk about panic attacks? There we go. That was a massive panic attack for all of them. It was hilarious. Now, like one of the viewers said, they're a sadist. They haven't seen.
No, I was trying to keep quiet because even afterwards, I was like, I hope that people notice I didn't say the name, but I certainly knew not to because of hearing that story before. That's why I was just laughing and like, I'm shutting the fuck up and letting you say it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Because
The
even
good
though I'm
thing
not playing,
is,
I still am not gonna say it.
oh, that's just smart because the reason why I'm not worried is I'm not living in Falinar.
Yeah.
Like, sure, I live on the world of Loviera in the dark forests, where we spread all the rumors of horrors here, just so people will leave us alone for the most part.
So, getting towards that area, let us talk about another key element of your lore, and that being the apples. The lunar apples, to be precise. Would you be so kind as to go through the lore of each one?
Oh boy. Okay, so I live in a place that is entrapped in darkness, and the five moons are pretty much the only light we will get. Every other place will get sunlight and stuff, not here. Um, and of course, we're pretty sure it's strictly magical. It most likely is. The city itself is only full of monsters, demons, the boogeyman, things that go bump in the night. Even though it also has humans and elves, they are the outcasts of their respective homes and kingdoms. And this is a safe haven. I am a person that works with mechanics, steamworks, and plants. The lunar apples are my greatest creations. They are they all function on the base of what moon is out. Each moon has a very specific color, and then you have the one moon that you wouldn't think is there, but it is. The dark moon, the black moon, the moon of the Maiden of Shadows. Each of these moons are respected, revered as gods and goddesses of some sort in some part of the world, perhaps. I'm not sure about all the other kingdoms. But, so agriculture is not easy out here. So I worked on in the biodome where my cottage is. Well, log cabin. Sometimes I call it a cottage, but it is huge. And it's a nice private area where I could have some respite and work on my daily grind. So I grow these apples by steam works of the watering them and using various alchemical methods and concentrated moonlight, using various means like a magnifying glass, a series of mirrors, stuff like that. And of course, the mirrors are not normal by any respect. So each um each major orchard in my biodome is the apples glow a respective color of the moons that gives them the color. Granted, this also means I have to work on rotation because it's not easy. Let's just say that. The white apples are my most common ones, and they give you a sense of serenity, bliss, and what have you. And they are perhaps the biggest sellers, if you could say that. I do sell them to other kingdoms, but I smell I just sell them as small batches of, oh, this is an enchanted rarity, which it's not wrong, but I ain't gonna make them think that you could get bucket loads easily. The green ones give you, well, how do I explain the green ones? The green ones basically give you energy. Like what people on Earth say is like energy drinks or
I could use a few of
coffee,
those fucking
except,
most of my days.
well, you better get over here and buy some. Um, the but it also has an ever-changing flavor. Strangely, I just call it a flavor of nostalgia. It is a flavor that you crave, but you don't know why.
So it's gonna take. No,
I just,
I was gonna make a joke. Sorry.
oh, oh,
Why does this
if
apple
it,
taste like
if you,
booty?
well, apparently you crave booty. That's not my problem.
I'm so lonely.
Awfully
Continue.
carnivorous of you. Oh, ow. The red glowing
I'm sorry. I
apples,
should have
they
been more
are the
specific. Why does
sweetest.
this taste like dragon ass? Scaly.
Oh boy. Hope that's not my mother.
Oh my god, that No, I meant my scaly, not your that. Oh Jesus Christ! No, I'm
Eh, eh, eh.
God, Jesus Christ! No, I'm not a motherfucker. Thank you very much.
Wow. Walk good in that one. The red ones are very much a they're great for pies, pretty much, and they will strangely put you to sleep. Like God, what's the fairy tale over there? Snow White. Yeah, they'll knock you out, but they won't put you like in an eternal slumber. More like a peaceful sleep, except your dreams are going to be a bit weird.
Here's a question. So, if people get like too much of an energy boost from the green ones, do they use those to counteract?
In a sense, yes, they can. But no one has really tried it because there's fun little side effects too. Like they think sleepwalking, except you're not asleep. You're walking around and you're just seeing images that would appear if you were asleep. So there's just fun side effects attached to that. People think my red ones have perhaps a strong connection to the Feywild, and I'm not sure if that's true. I don't think it is. The Red Moon's not known for fairies, after all. I would think that'd be more of the Green Moon, honestly. Then you get to the blue ones. The blue ones honestly has the most strange effects on people. Um, and it's vary from person to person, but it has people see things, hear things, um, as as well as basically in terms of increasing your senses. But they do taste a little off. Like they're not apples; they have the consistency of apple, but they taste like something else. I remember hearing it compared to a durian, and I'm kind of going, "Oh, I hope not." They don't smell like one though. Thank God. Don't want to be growing something that smells like death. Um, and then the rarest of them all, the dark ones, the black ones. They taste horrible. Not gonna lie. They don't taste good at all. But the only time you could actually make them taste good is if you brew it into an alcohol, apple whiskey, apple wine, stuff like that. But it it does have the side effect of you seeing the dead, as well as spirits
New
and
meaning to
stuff like that.
moonshine.
Oh man, uh, I would definitely say this is the truest form of moonshine. But yeah, the I mainly it's what I do to strive and survive. I grow these plants just because firstly it's fun. I do grow other plants, but these are my babies. They are truly the things that are the most challenging and no pun intended, but most fruitful.
But
So yeah, that's a lot about the apples of the trees. But yeah, lunar apples are very veritable and you won't find them easily. That's for sure. If someone exported them, I'm only going to send like one crate that is of a variety. And the black apples, oh yeah, I will charge a lot because those are the hardest ones to grow. But most people call them death seers.
so they're one could say they're dying to get those.
Oh man, ain't that the truth? But yeah, death seers are something else. Okay.
All right.
Anything
Y-
else?
oh yes, we're not done yet. Um, what would I say it like that for? Um, um,
I need to take another sip of my tea while you think about this.
uh, fucking most used emote.
Isn't it?
Okay, now let us get into a little bit more of the content. So, is there a game that you have yet to stream that you have wanted to but just haven't gotten around to it, that's in your core that you're just waiting to do and excited to do but just either can't do it or been putting it off because you're either excited or nervous to do it?
I wouldn't necessarily say excited or nervous, but there are games that I want to stream. But I am very much a person that loves to do multiplayer games. Like, not that long ago, I did Invisigun, and the reason why I did was because not many people know of that game, firstly. Secondly, it's just a good, versus sort of thing. It's good to go against other players. The AI turns into crap at times. Um, there are, like I would play Crawl, but that's a multiplayer game that doesn't have online. Magicka, oof, you want to talk about old but good, and also jank. Doom, I have considered. Unepic, I have also considered, and I've also been looking at playing fighter games because I love fighter games. I just don't like going against people. It's not that I'm not competitive, it's just I don't like the idea of being demoralized. And that and then, Fatal Frame. I do plan on continuing Fatal Frame. Right now, I'm just agitated because of what happened on one of my last streams you could check out, where it just got so frustrating that I was like, "Okay, I need to stop."
Was that why you
And
said something
y
about like it was earlier today, I believe, about like you sounded a little shocked that I played Soul Calibur.
um, no, like, I knew you played fighting games, but I was expecting more Mortal Kombat than anything
Oh, I
else.
do play that, but yeah, I get you.
I know. But I was also like, I really wanted to play, so like Soul Calibur, I actually like playing other people. Um, and it's not because I'm good at it. It's just because it's fun. And like I also love playing Killer Instinct. I
Oh,
also enjoy
I love Killer
Skullgirls and
Instinct.
stuff like Killer Instinct is a drug and I will never get rid of it. Um a couple of games that I thought of playing, but I kind of went, "Oh, people won't like this one." It would be like Caves of Quid or ADOM, uh, which those are rogue games, not roguelikes, rogue, where roguelikes and roguelites have elements of rogue games. No, these are flat out rogues where you have to think things out carefully or you will die. And the thing that throws people off the most is ASCII. they are they use letters more than graphics. So it's a niche that I would like people to get into, but that's not going to happen because they are notoriously hard for a reason. Um, but yeah, I just have a lot that I could just do. Loop Hero, a lot of people like, and I enjoy that game too. Monster Hunter World, Path of Exile, I like, but I need to redo my character really badly in that one. Um, and then there's like games like Sea of Thieves. Like, I want to play it. I could solo it, but there's a level of discomfort, and I'm not sure why. And I think it's just due to a nasty run in of some of the people in their Discord, some of their community. But I find the community in game really, really nice, really, really fun, even really kind, which is a weird dynamic when you think of it.
I only recall playing it maybe 2 days. My scaly companion had me play it, but then and again, this is what he wanted me to do the fucking YouTube for, and again, he has a sick thing with liking me panic and try and figure out how to get out of situations. Thing is he's a troll, and he was guiding the ship into a storm because he wanted me to experience it. And I have a fear of open water, and that game makes me a little seasick. And I fell off the boat into the water, and I had such a panic anxiety attack that when I finally got back onto the boat, it was just I was so distraught that I was like, I can't fucking play this game. Like, this game, there's something about it that just, it makes me so anxious. And I tried to
Yeah.
do the ship myself. Like, when he was not playing with me, I tried it the next day. I was like, I gotta get, maybe I need to get better at doing the ship. I sank it.
Oh man, that's fun. So, a funny story I have about Sea of Thieves is Jack Jokers and we played this game a lot when he actually had downtime. We got into a fight with another ship, and a megalodon attacks and a kraken attacks. Everything was fighting everyone. Hit them and us, and both of our ships sank. I got killed. Another crew member of ours got killed, and Jack is still alive. And he's going, wait, I could salvage this. Both ships sink. What could you do? And then he goes, okay, they're firing at us. What are you doing? I'm stealing their dinghy. And I'm going, you stole their rowboat. Yep, they're shooting at me. And I'm like, oh God, row, row, Jack, row. So both ships sank. They were left without a rowboat. And he stole it with all their stuff in it.
Wow.
It was hilarious. It was a situation where we were just sitting there laughing, going, how did, why, how, this is too funny. Stealing their dinghy. Oh God, row, row, Jack. Oh man, good times.
Do you remember your first game?
Very first game, period, or
Yes.
very
Very
first
first
game I
game, or at
streamed?
least the one that got you hardcore into gaming.
Oof, oof. There is an ancient as all hell board game that actually my brother, sister, and I would play. called Hero Quest. If you never heard of
I think I
it,
have.
um,
Believe it or not.
it's old. It's old and
Wasn't there a
good.
VHS that went with it or
Um,
something? Okay.
no, actually, I think you're thinking about Atmosphere,
Oh no, I could have swore there was
which is
one with
another fun
the
game.
guy who played as Malibu on American Gladiators and also played as Motaro from Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That was like he had like a barbarian. It was a tape one. I think I got the names mixed up.
Mhm. Um, so Hero Quest is simple. Now, there are games like this, and they have much bigger boards and stuff like Descent and some others. But no, this one's a lot, I want to say simpler, but it's kind of simpler. How the board would change would just be um, whoever's being the quote unquote game master would put down walls and stuff depending on based on the book that's right in front of them. And there are various rules and stuff they follow. It's basically a lighter version of D&D. I had a tendency to play the dwarf because the dwarf would disarm the traps. It was pretty much the rogue, or I play the elf, which is more versatile. So there was like, okay, this was like before um major classes, so to say. There was only four things you could play: barbarian, wizard, elf, dwarf. That's it. But they do play very differently. And we played that a lot. And that was one of the major driving forces, I believe.
Did you ever come
So,
across a
yeah.
game that made you like? Was there ever a game that made you so aggravated that you never wanted to play again?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Um, there was a game, and it, it was kind of like one of those unfortunate moments because it was a really good game. And I've been trying to get back and playing it again, and that is the Blackout Club. Now, this game's not bad in any respect. I actually think it's quite fun, it's quite good, a lot of good storytelling, and it has perhaps the most interesting way to go about the storytelling. It was more of a mental health issue I had. Um, okay, so the situation was this. Um, there are these, I want to say deities, but they go by voices. Now, if you're playing at night and you get something called the Flame of Rebellion, you could go up to the mirror and ask it a question pointed at any deity. Jack Jokers asked in her teeth about the perspective of death because she is practically the Grim Reaper. We asked a bunch of questions. I did not want to join her faction, but I did find interest. But I got shanghaied to join that faction, and my mental health went down really badly because some of the topic and subject matter that we were talking about hit too close to home for me in a way that I did not expect, and I just flipped out. And I still find it difficult to get back on that game, and it's not, like I said, it's not the game's fault, it's not the person's fault who came in. The thing is, how they work is they have, I think it's a dev of the game, to pop in and invade your game as the voice talking to you as this omnipotent being. and they listen, they talk, and it caught me off guard hella hard. But that wasn't the one that gave me the panic attack, you know. So yeah,
I've seen a little bit
I
on
would
it.
say it's
Like, not your experience
oh
with the game in general, because I know someone that plays it. What? Okay, if there were three main influences for your creativity from, like, how do I put this? Three things that you found in like other like genres, games, books, etc., that you think also helped guide you creatively to the world building, or even inventions, or the cabin, the apples, and were there any influences that you could think of that might have helped push or excite you to keep creating and want to?
D&D is the obvious one. Um, for a bunch of the flat out creativity stuff, the apples is just me. Like, it was just me asking the question, so how would agriculture work in such a dark area? So, yeah, world building wise, quite a few, well, a book or two. One of which is Thieves World, and that one was about a woman who got her hands chopped off, but basically learned magic to do her thievery. Um, honestly, that one was really good. Another, let's see, the original Baldur's Gates computer games. Movie wise, I could say Dark Crystal
Dark Crystal.
had a form of effect.
I, wa-
Well,
I,
I,
it was just funny that like just I anytime I hear that I'm just so glad people know of it. But what makes me happier to hear is that they know of the original movie.
actually, not only I know of the original movie, I know of the comics.
There were comics?
So,
Why do I feel like
yes.
I knew that and forgot it?
Um,
Why did that sound? Okay, go ahead.
well,
I'm sorry.
so like here's the thing. Jim Henson, who made Dark Crystal, pretty much stated that there's no way he could put all of it in one movie. And he was right. So there's a comic series that fills in the blanks. And yeah. An- Another aspect is Elf Quest, a very, very old comic series that honestly I'm surprised it still exists, given its age. But it is really good. It's part of the reason why I kind of built the place for monsters because in ElfQuest, elves were very much reviled in a way. They came from either another planet or another dimension, something of sort, and humans were extremely primitive. Caveman era got scared of the elves and violence ensued and it got really bad. So they isolate and you are mainly following Cutter and the forest elves, and they're trying to make their trek to other basically other parts of the world since the forest got burned down. So they're trying to find a new place to live. Um, and then yeah, so basically, the dark forests over here are safe havens. Um, and there are quite a few little tidbits here and there that's not coming to mind at the moment, but mm. I bet at like 12th Kingdom comes in, or is it 10th Kingdom? Uh old old series. But there's quite a lot. Um and I always find new things, and I always try to hunt down things that don't bore me, if you could believe that.
All right. I guess the next question I could think of is what. Okay. So when people find your channel, I already explained my experience in the first interview, but from your perspective, what is what is what do you want them to take away from watching your streams and what you create, and what do you at least hope for them to take away, as opposed to um what game, or like just in a whole, what are you wanting them to see that you do?
Oh, that's a challenging one in itself, because personally, I'm here to have fun and basically break up the monotony. But in like a D&D aspect, as well as storytelling and stuff, it's like I just like finding things in the nooks and cranny, and maybe searching in the non-usual spots could show people that there's other things out there other than what is thrust right in front of you. Um,
I was being so good.
oh,
Sorry,
you're
go
going
ahead.
there. Yeah, you're trying so hard. You were doing so well.
I know.
So I would say that enjoy, have some enjoyment, creativity, and like honestly, I'm generally just very talkative. uh, and I just like finding things. A lot of people say raccoons dig in the trash. I don't need to dig in trash to find something interesting. Um, let's see. But in the D&D aspect, I would say enjoy and create stories or anything, because, you know, that's really the fun side of things that people don't think about. Even if you don't think you're that creative, trust me, somewhere along the lines you came up with an idea or two or a story or two. No one could say they can't, even if it's like a stupid idea or a story that doesn't make sense. We were kids once. So yeah.
All right. And I guess once again, where can people find you, and um just uh at least, what do you feel is the most prominent platform to focus on that you will or want to provide for?
Mainly Twitch TV slash Veotrits. Uh, right now, that is the one where I'm most active on, and I am frustrating Danny with my 11, 12-hour streams when I lose track of time.
Which I'm
Now, I
surprised you
already
can
pointed
even
his.
like go that long. Like after the first 30 minutes, I'm already fucking done with myself. Like I seriously, like when I see
Oh,
8 or like some, well, for then I'm thinking like, Jesus, I've been in here quite some time. But then I'm thinking like, fuck, how the hell is he doing these fucking like 12-hour streams, which people usually make a fucking big event for, like a subathon?
oh, easy. I forget. I legitimately do lose track
I
of
wish
time.
I had that kind of. Oh my god, like that would make it so much easier. Like I'm too aware of how long things are going, because like for me, it's like, again, 30 minutes, I'm already looking at the timer like, oh my god, it feels like it's been 3 hours and I've only been doing this for like only half an hour. Like, what the fuck? But anyway,
Uh,
if you have any like signing
go on.
off words or anything you want to share, do so now because I'm going to plug you.
Oh, and I'm going to plug you on my
I'm good. I
channel.
was trying to like I was trying to put that in a phrase. I was like, oh god, wait, I just stop there. Just say plug you and end it. End it right there because anything after that is not gonna work well.
Oh no, no. I'm going to just stay silent on that little tidbit.
What?
But yeah, like find me on Twitch TV. I am starting to put together a YouTube channel which is going to be called Raccoon Living Room. It's going to be my clips, VODs, and more importantly my D&D recordings. Um but Twitch TV on Thursdays, I am looking on doing the D&D streams. Um that would be more announced in my Discord than anything else when it gets started. So, yeah.
All right. And again, links will be in the description below. Make sure you check them out. But all right, this is Niktana. This is VO.
Thanks for dropping by.
Anyway, and thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out VO. Make sure you plug him, stalk him, whatever needs to be done. Just make sure you check him out. And yeah, this is the end of this stream. Soon we will be seeing the interview card